Hi there and welcome back, my friends. We're back at the Shrine of the Great Chilla and Torment Tides of Numenera. And we're looking for more stories to find out about this place and the bloom that we're in. We've talked to the Observant Spec for quite a while. And now we'll talk to the other guys that are in here. Well, probably that guy. Well, let's first examine everything. Not clear if the items on this table are intended for food preparation or ritual display, or both. This polished skull, is chipped and pierced in many places. Oddly, it has no teeth, suggesting that it swallowed its prey whole. And this shelf holds a number of odd offerings: a skull, a seared jar, some candles, a metal cup, and the shriveled remains of a small hairless creature here. And here, rumpled blankets and rags lie on the floor, exuding a sour, sweaty odor. This is probably where some of the cultists sleep. And who's this man with a... What does he have at his head? But nothing to talk about. Okay. Ragmen. Well, then let's explore some more of the bloom. Or let's see if the Observant Spec has something new. Sometimes you have to talk... again and again. May I sleep here? That's an interesting question. 45 shins. Well, that's cheaper. That's cool. Just in case, I mean, we need to earn still a lot of...
On it.
a lot of shins again to be able to sleep somewhere, but... we'll do it. When we meet the next trader. As the Lascars.
Learning begets doing. Or is it the other way?
There's Walks Without Fear. We've met him already.
Let's
What is
go.
that? Is that a heart? A blister of flesh protrudes from the ground. An irritated, angry pustule that is almost entirely opaque. Do you see the faintest hints of movement within? We'll examine it. You study the movement within the cyst more closely, as if in response to your curiosity. The shadow of a hand claws at the interior and vanishes. Someone or something is trapped inside the cyst. Touch it, maybe we can free them. You feel something pressing against your mind, a sharp presence like the thought of pain, thrusting its experiences into your imagination as your fingers brush the flesh of the cyst. The memories come pouring in, flooding your thoughts with emotions of lives you have never lived, stories from countless lives lost in the bloom. You reach out for a random memory in this swirling maelstrom, and its particulars become immediately shockingly clear. In what seems like hours of flight, you think you may have found a way to elude the older girls. You've swallowed your pride and buried yourself in the mounded refuse in Little Niliesh. Smell of rotting food and putrid meat filling your nose. Better this than to suffer the abuse they are likely to hand out. Buried as you are, you can only hear them as they approach. Where did that little rhubarb go? Demands one. She's standing right in front of you, and she's breathing hard. From the rage in her voice, you know that the beating will be a savage one. At least 4 of them are looking for you, but you know deep down that if you don't stand up to them, at some point this will just keep happening. What we do? So she thinks we have to be a hero. Will we be a hero? Let's be a hero. Leap out of the garbage heap and attack. You try to burst from the refuse, imagining a dramatic entrance that will leave them stunned for a moment as you wreak your vengeance on their ringleader. But what happens instead is that as you draw yourself in to leap at them, they see the movement in the pile and they're ready for you. Even if you hadn't slipped on the mouldering food, your dramatic leap looks more like an accidental fall into your tormentor's arms. You're slicked with grease and rotten food, and they have a hard time holding you. For one moment you have a chance to break free and run, or you can stand and fight and show them that you're not scared of them. Yeah, let's fight. Do it. Pull it through. You lash out, and your fist actually connects with the ringleader's face, rocking her head back. The blood that spills from her nose is dark and hot, but the rage in her eyes is cold and dead. He thrusts you back into the garbage, and as you struggle to regain your feet, one of her allies, a girl with snakes for fingers, sees that hate and tries to pull her friend back. Please, Miakal, not for this one. Miakal says, oh yes, yes for this one. She looks at her friend and says, and if you don't help, you're next. The four of them get to work. Eternity later they stop, they spit on you as they leave. You try to move. The sharp and grinding pain in your leg shrills agony into your mind. Your eyes have swollen shut, your teeth are broken, and your shattered fingers are incapable of even the barest movement. Darkness closes over you. You return to your own mind with the death of your host, knowing that what you saw, what you felt was true. The life you lived was full, rich, and ended here in the bloom. Your host's remaining moments were saturated with pain. Your muscles still twitch with memory of agony, and your suffering bleeds into the cyst, loosening its fleshy fibers. It appears that the bloom has sealed something within this cyst, and your agony is the key that will set it loose. We'll touch it again. You steel yourself for another memory of pain and reach out to touch the cyst again. Again the unbidden memories spring into your mind, and you lose yourself among them until you reach out and seize one. Your head is throbbing, aching, feels like it's going to split wide open. You're trying to retreat from the battle for this region of the bloom, holding a tower of iron will against your psion foes. They batter at it ceaselessly, and you can feel your defenses crumbling. You strike back, you can save your allies. You will open yourself to your enemies' minds. You saw what they did to Alito, that every pore in his body started leaking blood. His screams are still haunting you. Drop our defenses and strike. We'll do that again. The moment your shields fall, they pounce on you, feeding your psychosis and traumas dredged up from your ancestral primitive past. Start to tear apart your concept of self, placing illusions of love lost and lives lived that are not your own. They whip you with empathy, and you can feel a backdoor attack on your psychomotor functions. The agony is exquisite. You use the pain and rage to leash out at the weakest mind, and you realize then that you are fighting a hive consciousness. You cannot defeat these creatures united as they are. Your only hope is to defend yourself or one of your squad mates, but only one of the 10 of you can survive the concerted attack of the hive. We'll be the hero again. Keep striking back. Maybe you can distract the hive for long enough. Strike and you strike and you strike again. You channel your fear into a devastating blow aimed at the heart of the nest, but the energy vanishes. You think. Lines of control snake through your body, dominating you and painting new truths on your mind. Each silver-thin thread draws a universe of pain through your exposed nerves. As your mind slowly dies, your foes show you the bodies of your fallen comrades. Not one escaped. It died in agony. And so do you.
My studies have borne fruit.
Consciousness calls you back to its arms, and you find yourself aching emotionally and physically from these experiences. Your muscles throb and pulse with the residue of the fight or flight response, and the cyst again responds to your pain. Its fibers loosen further. And we'll do that again. You steel yourself for another memory of pain and reach out to touch the cyst again. Again, the unbidden memories spring into your mind, and you lose yourself among them until you reach out and seize one. Please, you whisper, hands raised, clean white dust untouched by the taint of the bloom cakes your slender fingers. I worked for years on this sculpture. I've molded it with beams and chisels, and with my bare hands when my tools ran dry. This is the only thing in my life that has meaning. Something in the stone is calling to me. It needs to be given shape. I know that, says the man who used to be your friend. I've seen what it has done to you. He holds a large hammer in his hands. His fists are shaking. You've changed ever since you brought this hunk of rock back from that other world. You've changed. It's not art that compels you. There's life already in that thing, and it's using you to get out. He hefts the hammer. I'm here to stop it. I mean, we're not the mad scientist. If my behavior is that changed, I'll step aside. His shock is apparent, but he hides it quickly. He steps between you and the carved stone and swings his hammer. On the first strike, you swear you can hear a high-pitched shriek, but you tell yourself, this is just the rock cracking. Another blow and another, and chips scatter in a spray of red and white. The shriek has subsided, but your mind is filled with a low and pained moan. He holds the hammer aloft for a final blow and brings it down with all his strength. Your statue explodes and its pieces crumble. He stands and moves to the side, and for a moment you see a pool of blood amidst the shattered pieces. The memory fades. You wake from the vision, your body shaking involuntarily from the experience. A brief moment later and you are reoriented in your own flesh. You find yourself once again standing before the massive cyst in the bloom. You kept your host safe, but you sense that wasn't what was needed here. This vision, the others contained within the cyst's fibers, are a lock of sorts. To open it, you will need to suffer. You will need to become prey. Touch it again. And we touch the cyst again. Please, you whisper. Yes, we're again at this sculpture. You've changed. I'm here to stop it. You won't ruin my creation. Step aside. This is your last warning. I will destroy it. And if I have to go through you, I will. I'll protect this sculpture with my life. It is my creation. As you wish. His hammer is faster than you would have believed, and it blasts the bones in your hand to powder. You fall back. The pain following, and he strikes at the statue directly. The first shot elicits a high-pitched shriek from the stone, and you throw yourself in front of the sculpture to keep another one from landing. Don't make me... He never finishes the sentence, but swings again. His shoulder collapses with a wet crunch. You embrace the statue, shielding it from the hammer. After a few blows, he focuses entirely instead on you, grunting and growling. Blood spatters the stone beside your cheek. At last you topple bonelessly to the ground and watch as he reduces your masterpiece, a pile of rubble and splinters. You struggle to summon a single breath, a single sob. When the blackness comes, you welcome it.
My studies have borne fruit.
The ache in your heart has become familiar, even as the sorrow and heartbreak seem new and fresh each time. Different facets of the same emotion, each refracted through a new experience. The cyst's fibers twitch again, loosening one final time, revealing a frail, angular creature trapped inside. It bursts out of the cyst, leaving a glittering object behind it in its haste to escape. Ugh. What is that? We've freed that creature. Whoa, it jumps down. What was that? Now that the cyst has disgorged its prisoner, the husk looks hollow, deflated, defeated. We'll examine the remains. What do we have found here? Something catches your eye. It's a piece of sharp metal that protrudes from just underneath a fold of decaying bloom flesh. You cannot begin to guess at its function, but it's small and easy to carry. You slip it into your pouch. You found this object inside a ruptured bloom cyst. It is made of azure steel and resembled the hilt of a small knife. The blade is missing.
My studies have borne fruit.
The creature within the cyst was an abykos, a being that feeds on trans-dimensional energies. Assuming that it was in the cyst for any length of time, it must have been surviving by draining energy from the object you just found. A closer examination of the object should tell you more. Okay. We'll examine the remains again, though. Now that you've claimed the object the creature left, the cavity is utterly empty. Alright. We found this quest. Ah yeah, this thing. We'll use it. This device resembles the hilt of a weapon. It rests easily in your hand, but there's no blade. We'll inspect
I'll
it.
remember that.
The device is made of azure steel. It appears to be inert and has no obvious function. A stylized name is inscribed into the steel. Ioxu. I think we know that name. Behind the strong glass plate, you find a compartment that contains an old depleted power core. It's blackened and drained, so you toss it aside. You could place another power source inside the compartment, but it may require a particular type of energy. I mean, we know one at the Katina. Inspect it again. It's the same, okay. What have we here? Sunderman and Sunderman. Bloomflesh and Sunrise. Tools lie scattered on the workbench along with fragments of leathery bloom flesh. Each of these vats is filled with colored dye extruded by tiny wriggling creatures that congregate near the bottom. And we have tunnels here. We can leave the area and we can talk to the Sundermen. I believe we'll talk to the Sundermen in the next episode. Thank you for watching and happy gaming to you. We'll see each other then and explore the bloom further. Have a great time until then and happy gaming. This is Immanuel Khan signing out. See you soon, my friends.